I turned 19 today, and I'm not ashamed to say that. Although I have lessons I've learned, I'd rather share the urges I developed along the way. Suddenly, adulthood is more than turning 18, and finally legal is a nostalgic memory I hate remembering, because the anticipation I had put into it, I could have used to savor the moments I had then that I'll never have now. So I'm grown now, 19 in total, and dearest viewer, if you stay long enough with me, I wish to share with you my 5 urges before 19. Who knows? Maybe now I'm 2 years into this adulthood business, the urges will stop visiting me with fear and worries. Maybe they'll stop visiting me at all.
Hello there, my name is Uchechi and you're welcome to my channel Is All Uchechi Here, where I talk about topics that interest me, and I hope that towards the end of this video I'll be able to make them interest you too. So today I turned 19 years old, and it is quite a big deal for me because at first I did not even see this age coming. Not like I thought I might die, no. I mean, like, I did not see this age as something that was even possible. 10 years old me did not think that there's a time like this, but I knew I would turn 19. And then even when I turned 18, I put a lot of force into that thing. And funny enough, it wasn't even a big blown party. It was just me acknowledging that now I'm an adult and I can get certain documents that I could not get before. But the age 18 has made me have a lot of things that I have experienced, and I've gone through so many things, and I am not here to share the lessons I have learned, though those experiences taught me things. Rather, I am here to share the urges I developed because of those experiences. And I know I am not alone in this. I know I am not alone in this feeling, because many people have this urges too. And sometimes they are not ever actualized or accomplished, but they are just there, a ticking time bomb. And I want you to stay with me as I take you through these 5 urges before 19. So, 5 urges before 19. Thank you. The first urge is the urge to do something so you won't end up as nothing. Now, I won't say that I am a nepo baby, because I certainly am not. But I was born into a family where my father could cater to our basic needs: food, shelter, and clothing. And yes, I always had food to eat. I did not starve, and even when things would have become bad, it wasn't up to the extent where I had to cry for food. So, given that I have a structure already set in place for me to have the basic necessities of life, I didn't feel pressured to do much. But I remember in secondary school, most of my friends would be like, at this age, you're not thinking about how to have your own money. We were just 16, 15, 17. And I was like, no. It wasn't a paramount at that time. I was like, I'm still going to be asking my father for money. And they were like, okay, do you? And I don't know, at the age where I realized that I don't want to be asking for money again. I want to have my own money, because I began to tie that having money to me being independent. The urge to do something so you won't end up as nothing. I am afraid of becoming nothing in life. We all are afraid of becoming nothing in life, of ending up as someone that nobody would remember for their achievements or at least for their existence. I'm afraid of a stage where that might happen to me. So I'm trying to do my possible best. I'm trying to inculcate the fact that I can write in every space. But there's still that urge to just keep on doing more so that I won't end up as nothing. And notice the way this was worded. The urge to do something. Not to do something you like, just to do something so you won't end up as nothing. We are in a world where if you are like at the threat of becoming nobody, that weighs heavily on your shoulders, and I am no different. It happens, and it happens to me, and I experience it too. So I want to be somebody, and I'm at the stage where I am willing to do something to become somebody. If writing won't work, I want to do this, I want to do that. I just want to make sure my name is remembered. And it's intensifying at this age where nobody's going to give you that, oh, she's just a child card. No, I might look like a child, but everyone knows I am no longer that. So no one is going to excuse me. No one is going to excuse you. As you turn 19, no one is going to want to tell you, oh, just rest. Because it's 1 year shy to 20. At 20, that is such a big word. That is such a big age. So we are all out here forgetting our passions. We are doing any and everything. It doesn't even have to give us joy. It just has to give us a reputation that people remember. And sometimes it hurts. That is why I'm happy for those that are remembered for what they loved doing. But there's another twist to this here. If you get popularity for what you love doing, there can come a stage where you won't love doing that thing. Because now there are 1 million people telling you, do this way. But this is something you love doing, so you already have a way you want to do it. But if your community is against it, it's like you against the people that fund you. And slowly your passion begins to die. And you become like us, doing something, doing anything. Just so that the world remembers that we were once on this planet. We once existed. Number 2, the urge to do something to not end up as nothing, but still doing nothing because at this point you're something. Sometimes I can be very lazy. I accept fact. Sometimes I can be very, very lazy. Sometimes I can want to do something but I keep on procrastinating and going against my will just so that I can achieve nothing at the end of the day. When I came to this world, I was first of all called Isaac's daughter, that is my daddy, and Ogechi's daughter. From then on, I had sisters. When I entered the school that they were in, I was known as, oh, this person's sister. And my sisters already had the legacy. So it was either up to me to continue and enhance our family name in that school, or bring it down and make people feel like, this girl, she's so different from the family, she's the black sheep. I was already something, so many somethings to different people. So number 1 is the fear the fear that makes you to do something to not end up as nothing. Well, what if I tell you that we all are already something? We are already something. Me sitting down here, if you ask 5 people who I am to them, they have different perceptions of me. To one, I'm their classmate. To one, I'm their friend. To one, I'm their sister. To one, I'm their daughter. To one, I'm their niece. I am something to different people. Now, here's the kicker. Remember I told you that I already had a structure where I received the 3 basic necessities of life easy because my daddy made it so at that age. So when my classmates were like, why are you still collecting money from your daddy? I did not feel that pressure. I did not feel that pressure they were feeling to, oh, let me follow too. Let me start looking for how to become independent on my own. Already, boarding school gives you a structure of independence. where you have to learn how to manage your things. But that independence is not the sole independence that life is expecting from you. That independence is management. You are given money, you are given food, then you are put into a building. You must learn how to manage the things you've been given. So I was already with something. Hence, there was no much push to, oh, I need to be this, I need to be that, and laziness crept in. Suddenly I became 18 and I realized that particular urge is now fighting, is warring with the urge to do something. I want to do something, I don't want to do something. I want to do something, I don't want to do something. And whenever I want to do something but I don't end up doing it, there's a voice in my head that's like, relax. You won't end up the way you are afraid that you might end up to be. But no one knows tomorrow. And that is the critical aspect of it. No one knows tomorrow. So in as much as I am something now to many people, and I have a system, I have a father that can at least, I can be assured of food and shelter, I have to do something. But then I remember that I have food to eat, and I slack off and I slack back in. And as I turn 19 today, I feel like this particular urge will die slowly, because so many experiences I'm going through now, it's already dictating how this age will be. I might feel the urge to do something but end up not doing it, but I will still do it, because it's as if adulthood doesn't only provide you with the awareness that the basic necessities of life are not guaranteed to you as an entitlement. You are not entitled to it. You must work for it. Adulthood also makes you remember that you cannot dare to think that because you are something now doesn't mean you cannot be nothing tomorrow. The urge to do something but not doing it because you're lazy. Now, I feel like there's a thin line between being lazy and being tired, and these two can easily get confused. You can be tired because you have done a lot, but you can be lazy and be tired even without doing nothing. This particular urge, it mirrors the other urge, but there's a difference. In this one, you're just lazy and you don't want to do that thing because you're tired of doing it. You see how I'm mixing the two words? In as much as they can stand differently on their own, these two, they still correlate. They still have a relativity that we must acknowledge. So I have said it before that sometimes I can be very lazy and I can procrastinate a lot. This particular idea has been in my head since February or so, but I'm doing it now. So yes, it happens to me too. I feel lazy sometimes and I don't do anything because of that. But I don't even need to tell you that there are negative aspects to this. You should know. And that the negative aspect outweighs the positive. So as you turn 19, you realize that if you were lazy before and you had an excuse to be, your excuses are dying fast. And I know society will tell you time differs for everyone. You're running your own race, you're on your own pace. And while that is true, you also have to acknowledge that this same society won't tell you at age 30 that you're running your own race. They'll be harsh. And that will be the time when you have to realize that whatever society was motivating you with before, you have to be giving yourself that now. And that is already a step out of laziness, because you have to keep on motivating yourself, because society won't do it for you again. Loved ones might want to, but for you to grow, they cannot and they will not. The urge to do something but hesitating because you do not know why you're doing this. The urge to do something but hesitating because you do not know why you're doing this. Sometimes I ask myself, why am I going to school? I love school. At least I loved it when I was in secondary school. When people be like, I hate school. I hated the aspect of being a bother. but I did not hate school. I loved school. But now I entered the university and I feel like I am not where I want to be. I don't understand why I'm doing this. You hear some people saying they are in a life they never asked for, they don't want to live in, but they have to, just because they were brought to this world. Many of us hesitate to do things, not because we are lazy or because we are something at that moment, but because we just don't know why we are doing this. Why am I stressing? Why am I going to that work? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? And I've heard that motivational video. You understand? I've watched and heard that motivational video. Why not? Why not you? Why not now? It's one of the best, one of the things I've listened to repeatedly when I feel down. But sometimes the why should be, why am I doing this? Why do I keep on going to a job that takes pieces of me every day and won't even remember me when I go? They might remember me as the colleague that won best colleague of that month or best worker of that month, but they won't remember me because they do not know me. So why am I doing this? Why am I doing this series of things that makes me forget myself in an environment that doesn't know me? This environment chips away my being without even knowing what is chipping at, and I'm giving despite knowing that I should hold on to who I am. So most times I want to do something but I'm hesitating. I'm like, why am I even doing this? Why am I networking in a way where I know I feel uncomfortable? I know I don't want to be there. But life says if you want to survive, you have to do this and you have to do this way. Why am I doing this? And this does not dispute the otherwise. Why not you? Why not now? Why not? But it makes me want to know, because this is a reflection on its own. Why are you doing that? Why are you slowly losing your passion to survive? I hesitate to do certain things because I don't understand why I'm doing it. And the excuse of because it will help you, when I ask, okay, how will it help me? And they just full stop there. There is no definite reason that I can understand. And I know I am not the only one going through this. There are so many people that were brought into a world where there was already the money, there was the fame. So now there are so many expectations on them to be this and be that. But they're hesitating because they don't know why they have to do that. And then there are the ones too that were brought into a world where there was nothing set in place for them. So they had to start doing things that chips away at their happiness. And at a certain point, they'll be like, why am I doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are you living that life that you don't want to live? So sometimes we can have the urge to do something, but we hesitate because we don't know why we are doing it. The urge to not be called a failure. This is the reason why all of us actually do something. Every single point I've been saying guides down to this. Nobody wants to be called a failure. Because being called a failure is worse than being remembered for nothing. You could have done something, but because it was not known by a majority, you are remembered as not doing anything. They're remembered as nothing. But there are those people that still remember what you did. They remember you as something. But when you're remembered or called a failure, that's where we draw the line. The negative connotation of that word, it has a huge effect on how we view ourselves and how we view the world around us. I thought about many ways that this could apply. There are different people with different definitions of being a failure. But you and me, or is it I and you, or me and you, we know fully well that how I might have defined what it means to be a failure in my early teens, and my, little kid era. It differs from how I view what I define as failure now. And what I might have said, oh, this is what it needs to be. I don't even think failure now holds the level of force and negative energy it has now compared to how I viewed it when I was little. And all the urges we have mentioned earlier, it boils down to this: the urge to not be called a failure. And it is really deep because you're at that stage where you know you should take it easy. You know you should be easy on yourself. You know you should be kinder to yourself. But you have people that are in your age grade too, and some of them have started little exploits, some haven't. So we are looking at which circle should I be in. I can't just stand in the middle. And what does standing in the middle actually mean? Am I barely there, or I'm there already? Or I'm not even there at all? Where do I stand? Where do I make my stance? And this mental battle, it phases into every area. The urge to not be a failure, the urge to not be called a failure. Two different things. To be called a failure does not necessarily mean you are a failure. To be a failure is an acceptance that you have taken within yourself that I am a failure. And being a failure, is it a permanent thing? You can say I am a failure, but I will work to becoming not one. Or I am a failure, and you put it there, and that is permanent to you. So what does it exactly mean to be called a failure? Being called a failure, you might believe you are a failure, but some people that are called failures, or when they say people call me failure, no, sorry, or when they say people call me a failure, it does not necessarily mean I have accepted what they view me as, but I know that this is how they view me. But when I say I have accepted this, even if people called me or not, within myself I have told myself that this is what I am. And I'm at this age where it's quite high at the moment. It might not be as high compared to what some people are going through right now, but I have my own, and this is like my own share of the struggle or the personal suffering.